guests, welcome to today's Celebrity Big Brother 2 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day. We got a whole crew today. We've got, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I say anyone's names wrong. We have Ed Matute, Kelly O'Grady, Van Scott, Vivian Pena, Wes Boyer, Wilson Matthias, William Mosang, Brian Van Veen, Carol Blust, Kathleen Sisirski, Christian Walters, and Connie Amaya. You guys, thank you so much for the support. We really, really appreciate it. And seriously, we could not do this without you guys. And I just want to thank all of our patrons over at Patreon for making this happen. You guys are the best. Okay, so it's the last spoiler. Oh my god. So when we left off yesterday, Dina had just decided to start playing the game. I think it's a good time, right? So she was campaigning to Lolo, and she said, you know what? Candy and Tamar are definitely going to take each other to the final two. They've got a 20-year, actually I think she said it was a 30-year relationship. Seems like every time she talks about it, you add on another 10 years or something. But she said they've known each other for a really long time. They're going to take each other to the end. That's two people that are not going to take you. So, like, if you keep me, I'll take you. So, Lolo was like, oh, I wish you had told me this sooner. I could have used the power veto on you. So, she wants Dina to go and talk to Ricky because maybe they could still keep Dina around. So they were looking around for him. They couldn't find him because he was in the DR, but eventually Dina did get to chat with Ricky, and they were in the hotel bedroom. So she says, well, she took the scenic route to get here, but eventually she says Candy and Tamar would pick each other for final two. And Ricky says, that's what you think. And Dina says, that's what I know to think. Oh my god, you know how Dina is. So she's like, you know, you have your thing, and I have my thoughts. We all have, like, our different perspectives here. And Ricky's like, yeah, but you don't talk to people, and I do. Whoa! And he's like, mine aren't just thoughts. I've talked to everyone a lot. I've known that things were going to happen in this game because I've talked to people so much. So Dina's like, well, I talked to a lot of people, too, and, like, I watched and observed a lot, so people's actions say a lot. So Ricky's like, you're basing what you're thinking on incorrect information, and it's not helpful, it's not useful. Wow! Okay, I just have to say, like, Ricky was really mean in this conversation. Like, I get that you don't think that Dina has been playing, but why would you do that? Even just on a game level, why would you do that to someone that is potentially going to be a jury vote that you could have in your favor? But no. And also, just, like, stop being a dick on a personal level. But anyway, Dina is insisting that Candy and Tamar will go to the end together, and Ricky is just brushing it off rudely, I think. Okay, so meanwhile, Candy and Lolo were in the living room, and Lolo's like, can I ask you an honest question? Are you a grow-a guy? No, sorry, I had to. So no, she asks, since you and Tamar have known each other for 20 years, can I assume that you'll take her to the end? And Candy's like, no. First of all, it wasn't a good 20 years. It's not like we were, like, hanging out together all the time having a blast, okay? It was not a good 20 years. So Candy says, I don't want to take Tamar to the end because she feels like she would lose, and she doesn't want there to be any animosity there if she does lose to Tamar. She doesn't want to ruin what they have been building in this house, and she's like, if we're going to be cool outside of here, it's not going to matter if I take her to the end or not. You know, we have our own thing going on the outside. So Candy says again, I don't think that I would beat her in the end. And Lolo calls BS. She thinks that Candy is miscounting her votes. So then Lolo's like, all right, well, would you take Ricky to the end? And Candy says, it depends who's there. Which is so hilarious because the only variable that would change is Candy. Everybody else, like Lolo, Ricky, and Tamar, they're all gonna be in that pool of people that you can pick because they're not on the block. So the only person that would be different there is Candy or Dina. So I just thought it was funny that she said that. But then they go over to the memory wall to count everyone's potential votes. And Candy's like, you know what? Dina would beat everyone. She would have Jonathan, Ryan, Joey, Tom, and Kato, which I don't know is necessarily true, but it definitely freaked Lolo out, and she was like, oh crap, yeah, I don't want to be in the final 2 with Dina, especially since she's had such a tough time in her personal life, and she would be able to use that to get votes with her final speech. So then it seems like maybe Lolo's thinking that Candy should stay. So then Candy's explaining more about what happened when Lolo was on the block with Natalie and how her allies wanted Natalie to stay because they thought that she would be better to help get rid of Tom. Isn't it funny how that worked out? But anyway, Lolo is encouraging Candy to talk to Ricky because now she's like, oh, I think I want Lolo, or what's her face? I think I want Candy to stay. So then it seems like Candy has now convinced Lolo that she is her best chance to win, okay? Not even to just keep around, but to go to the end with. Because Candy's like, you know what? If you go with me, you'll get all of your roommates' votes instead of splitting them. If you go with Tamar or Ricky, those hotel bedroom roommate votes are gonna be split. So I'm your best bet. Which is kind of like a good point, right? So then Candy talks to Ricky. She's like, I just want you to know I don't have a final 2 deal with Tamar because I think that she would beat me. So then Ricky's like, all right, well, who do you think you wouldn't lose to in the end? And Candy says, I have a better chance against you or Lolo. The only other 2 options. So then Ricky's like, okay, well, between the 2 of us. And she says, of course she's gonna say that she wants to go to the end with Ricky. She's talking to him. So then Candy is saying her thing that she was talking about with Lolo earlier. Everyone has the best chance against her in the final 2 because the hotel bedroom votes would not be split. You would get all of them. And then Ricky's like, I'm not looking at numbers. I'm just gonna let my gameplay speak for itself. I'm not like stressing about that. Okay, good luck with that. So Lolo was also saying that Candy doesn't need the money. So Candy's like, I don't know if other people are thinking that way too. Maybe I'm not gonna win. But it's really annoying when people bring up stuff like that because this is not a contest for who needs the money the most. I mean, really, it's a freaking game. Okay, so I'm gonna step off of my podium here. Anyway, Ricky offers her a deal. He's like, Candy, if it's a tie, you're saying that you're gonna keep me and go to the end with me anyway, but if it's a tie and I keep you, would you take me to the final 2? And Candy says, okay. So, but anyway, then Ricky was talking to Tamar and they confirm again that they would take each other to the end. And then later, Tamar also told Lolo that she'd take her to the end. So, I mean, everybody is promising everybody. And honestly, I don't know who would take who because this is not like a regular season where people talk to the cameras a lot and tell us like what they're thinking. So it's really hard to figure out what people are going to do. I do still feel like Candy and Tamar want to go to the end together. But I don't know. I don't know if it's for sure. But other than that, like, I really don't know who people would take. So anyway, where are we? Ricky, Tamar, and Lolo discuss the upcoming vote. And they say that they respect that Dina is actually trying and campaigning. But she's messy AF. They're like, no, she needs to go. We're going to get rid of her. We are not going to give her the chance to make it to the end. Because they would be really upset with themselves if she won. So, wow, everyone's on the same page now? Crazy, I guess they can just enjoy their last night together, right? So, everyone was chill for a bit now that that decision has been made. But then Ricky, the healer, decides, you know what? I'm going to plant some seeds and stir up some shit. So, Ricky was talking to Lolo in the gym, and he's like, are we sure we want to keep Candy around? You know, she's more of a threat to win that final HOH than Dina is. And Lolo's like, yeah, but Candy was talking about going to the end with you. At least that's what she was saying. She said she was going to go to the end with you. So, like, why would you want to get rid of her? That doesn't make sense. And Ricky's like, well, that's not good for you and Tamar. What the F Okay, obviously there's some ulterior motives going on here because there's no way that Ricky would want to keep Dina around just because it would be more fair and a better shot for Lolo or Tamar to win. Nah, I'm calling bull on that. So Lolo's like, well, I don't think that we can beat Dina in the final 2. And Ricky's like, I don't agree with that. And he also basically said if they lose to Dina in the final HOH competition, they deserve to lose. You know, that's their own fault. So then Ricky has a similar conversation with Tamar. And she's also like, why are we doing this? And he's like, I'm just trying to look out for all of us. No! Okay, so then Lolo and Tamar discuss the vote again, and now they're split because Lolo seems to want Candy out and Tamar still wants Dina to go. So Tamar's saying Dina would beat everyone in final 2, and Lolo's like, yeah, but why would you want to keep Candy if you know she's not going to take you to the end? So Lolo is totally buying into Candy saying that she would take Ricky to the end, but I think Tamar knows that she still has a real final 2 with Candy. So Tamar's like, well, I wouldn't get rid of Candy because I'm not a hater. Also, I want to go to the end with her. So, I don't know. Are they going to split the vote now or what? Because that way, Tamar wouldn't have to vote out Candy, so they would still be cool. And Ricky would break the tie, and I'm sure he would make a deal beforehand with whoever he saves. That's gotta be why he's changed his mind in the first place, right? Just so he can guarantee that whoever stays out of Dina or Candy is gonna take him to the end. I honestly think he was getting nervous about Candy potentially taking Tamar, even though she said she was gonna go with Ricky. And I think also because they were all agreeing to keep Candy, that means that Ricky wouldn't be voting. So he loses that like, ooh, I saved you. So that's why he wants this to be a split vote. So now Dina's staying? What? Alright, so then today, it's the last morning of feeds. So at one point Tamar was talking to the cameras and you could tell she is pissed about this turn of events with Dina now possibly staying. So she says to the cameras, I'm tired of the bullshit that's going on in this house. Who the hell do they think I am? I am not going to take anything lying down. They tried it. That's one of my favorite phrases. They tried it. But she's like, they told me last night that I've got no choice and they're going to kick Candy off and I'm not supposed to tell her about it. So she says, I'm astonished at the greed and the lust for money that is in this house. So then Ricky comes in and Tamar wants to know the thought process behind getting rid of Candy now. She's confused. She's like, why are we getting rid of her? We decided that we want to get rid of Dina, and like, where did this even come from? You just like thought of this randomly? Like, what is all this? So, and she's also confused about who is supposedly taking who to the final 2. So Ricky's like, it's not personal. I like Candy. She's a sweet person, but not today. Woo! So he's like, why would we keep her here? It doesn't make sense. He said it was a bunch of things that are like making him feel like she's got to go. But he's saying, you know what? Dina can't win anything. But then on the other hand, he's also saying he doesn't think that Dina or Candy would win HOH, so he doesn't care. What? Why are you so adamant, though? Like, obviously there is something here that he doesn't want to say. So, this is another thing that I was going to say. I think that Ricky wants Candy to go because her argument made a lot of sense that people should go to the end with her because then the roommate votes wouldn't be split. So maybe he's feeling threatened that Lolo or Tamar would want to take Candy instead of him if they won the final HOH. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, he said there's really no strategy to it. He just feels like Candy should go. So Tamar was really quiet during this conversation, which tells you immediately she's pissed. So she was still fighting for Candy. She says Dina has almost won multiple competitions. And Ricky's like, yeah, but those were just straight up memory competitions. They didn't have anything to do with the game. Dina doesn't know anything about the game. So if that's like the final HOH comp, like some sort of days comp, So Tamar's like, you know what? I don't feel good about this. I did not sleep at all last night. My stomach is curdling. She's not happy about it. And then the feeds go off. Oh my god! You're seriously gonna leave us with this cliffhanger? Holy crap. I just want to mention too, Lolo and Tamar did say goodbye to the fans earlier before the feeds went down. But like that last thing before the feeds went down was just Tamar being like, I don't feel good about this. So, I don't know. Is the vote gonna flip again? Even if Tamar wants to keep Candy around, if she can't convince at least Lolo to keep her, that's it. Because then the decision would come down to Ricky if they don't agree, and apparently he wants Candy to go. So, I don't know. There's so much uncertainty going into this finale. It's insane. But I want to know. I wish I could tell you what was going to happen, but I honestly have no idea. But I want to know in the comments who you guys are rooting for to win this whole thing. And I just want to thank everyone for watching with us this season and all your comments and everything, especially supporting us through the loss of our beloved Flashy. It really meant a lot to us, you guys all reaching out. So I want to thank you all for that. And I also want to thank Mom, because she is the true MVP this season with all the filming and the editing. And I don't know if you guys knew this, if you don't watch our vlog channel, but Mom has undergone multiple procedures during this season to get rid of her kidney stones. So it has not been an easy ride for her. So I just want to say thank you so much, Mom. And I just basically picked my nose when I did that. But thank you guys so much. We'll see you for the finale tonight. And until then, much love.